let's go ahead and see what the old 302 can get us here. If I can type properly. This might be a really rough battle if I can't even type properly right out of the gate. Hey there, Postal here. So we've got the I-302, the 302. This is a plane that World of Warplanes is currently selling through the month of April. It's an absolute burner of a plane. As you can see, got a nice little rocket to it. Some things to note, however. My plane is fully spec'd out. It has ultimate equipment on it. It can get up and go like no other. But that being said, the stock version of this plane can still do some ridiculous things when it comes to speed. It is the fastest fighter at tier 7. Mine just happens to be faster than that. So let's see, we got a P-51D. I'm really not worried about any of those. What this plane can't do well is dogfight. Terrible maneuverability, terrible turning radius, terrible. It's all about the speed. It's all about its ability to boom a little bit and zoom a lot, and that's what we're going to continue to do in this particular battle. You have 4 20mm cannons. These are actually not very strong cannons, but there's 4 of them, so that's helpful. They're relatively short range, but again, this is one of those situations you get enough crap, you throw it and it'll stick. Let's go ahead and get our boost on. Excellent. Ooh, B-17D. G, excuse me. I was going to say D. How am I getting a tier 5 in my battle? There's just so much HP. Wow, that plane's going completely sideways. That's pretty skillful for a bomber. Especially a B-17D like me. G! Oh my goodness! I know what I'm talking about. This is going to take a couple passes. I'm quite sure of it. We're going to boost along. We've got 2 ground attackers over here, which I don't really want. Like, these are actually not the planes I would typically be going for, but I don't feel like my team is going to be capturing this sector with a B-17G dropping bombs. Let off the guns a little bit, let them cool off. Sure would be cool if we could get our... Well, dang it. So we've lost the air base, unfortunately. So what we're going to try to do here is straighten out so I can get a reasonably straight line on this guy. And I might be able to get him in one pass. The answer is no. Get our boost on. Hey! Took over the plant anyway, so that's good. We'll at least kill this guy. Kill the next one. I played the guns a little bit wrong there. Getting the mining facility is definitely going to help us out, considering we've lost everything else, basically, or we're about to lose our garrison. Here we go. Let's boost on to their garrison really quick. Get my engine cooling going here. Hello, Tornado. Hopefully we don't pass him so quickly that we can't kill him. I've actually got to hit my air brakes here. Let's get our boost on. Das Boosten, engaging, yeah. Yeah, I know that's German. And Boosten's not a real word, but that's not the point. Just because I'm flying a Soviet plane doesn't mean I can't make up words that aren't even close to Russian. We are able to turn with most heavy fighters, especially if they're air defense aircraft heavy fighters. So I do turn with them, but most of the time you've got to be really mindful of of what you're doing when you're turning, why you're turning, what's the purpose. There we go. Because if you try to turn and you lose a bunch of energy, you lose a bunch of airspeed. It's really going to mess with you because you're all about your airspeed with this plane. Definitely don't want to get your engine knocked out if you don't have to. At this point, so we've knocked out the P-51A. We're going to turn back around on him. Knocked out his engine, I mean. So we can get our guns on target here. Let's go for the Z. If I can get up to him before he realizes I'm here, he's toast. We've definitely got the speed on him. Heavy fighter or not, we're going to be the fastest plane in this particular game. This particular match, anyway. Alright. Oh, was I not paying attention to the guy behind me? No, I wasn't. Oh, it's that P-51A that I wasn't worried about. But again, as long as my engine's not knocked out, I'm good to go. I can knock out basically anything. I can get away from anything. Tier 8 battles are going to be a little different, of course. You're going to run into 262s and things of that nature that can keep up with you. Well, the 262 you can outturn. So, you know, you got to be mindful of your interactions and how you're going against the enemy. Gonna try to come over here and help the mining facility. If we hang on to the mining facility, we'll win this game pretty easily. Got ground attacker inbound. I don't know what the enemy P-51D is doing. I guess he's defending the heck out of the center. So we're going to win this battle because he's defending a sector that's not really going to win them the game. If it was like a military base or something like that, that would be different, right? Because the military base is actively attacking other sectors. Ooh, this is not going to turn how I wanted it to turn. You know, military base, a command center is actively attacking other sectors. And so, yeah, you can defend that kind of sector and actually win the game. But defending a air base is not going to win you a battle. Not unless you've just got a bunch of people that just go to the center and keep dying to you, but I'm not going to do that, so... Got an enemy on my tail. Let's see if I can't turn around quickly enough to kill this B-17 before the game's over. No, of course not. Dang it. Oh, I did set him on fire. Never mind. Yay to us. Yeah, so that battle just kind of dump. I mean, go to the sector, capture the sector, be mindful of what you're up against, and go to the most effective sector, right? Really, that's what you should be doing in every single plane. Fact of the matter is, this plane is just so incredibly good at speed. Let's head back and take a look at the battle. All right, battle number 2 here in the 302. Another tier 7 battle. We've got a P-51K on the enemy team. Not worried about it, although it can definitely outturn us. Coursera Comet. I love the frickin' name. In a Key 102 on the enemy team. On our team, we've got a Mosquito. So... let's go ahead and let's get to the center here. So let's go ahead. What I do in this plane is I tend to get up to my altitude as quickly as possible, which is typically pretty quickly. About 7,500 feet or so. And that way we can dive down as needed. P-51A. We're actually going to get this A8 really quick here. Are the fighters coming after me? That's really the question. No, they're not. Multi-roll is. Gonna hit him and go. P-51A. Oh, actually, let's get this guy if we can. Simply because he's turning. Going the opposite direction. Oh, we're going to go flying past this guy. I'm sure of it. Oh, maybe not. If I hit the air brakes, but I've locked up my guns. So never mind. We're going to keep on keeping on here. Let's get this garrison. Capture the center. Don't know what that guy said. Still don't know what he said. Ew. Niet. Hey, that was Russian. Go. Hello, P-51A. And nope, got that. Cool. Let's head back across the center. You know what? What the heck is going on here? Let's head across the center. I don't want to influence a mining facility as of right now. I don't want to get both mining facilities, but it looks like our team's not going to get our mining facility, so what the hell do I know? P-51K. My guns are overheated. Doesn't seem to matter. Flip this back over. Keep on moving. Ooh, they're gonna get both frickin' mining facilities? Okay, so we need to get... Let's get our engine cooling on here. Hold down the boost. This is going to be annoying. An A-26 I can handle, though, so... This B-17G would be... Or B-32 would be kind of a pain in the butt, simply because they've got so many hit points. A-26 doesn't have a whole lot of hit points. There we go. So now I just need my bombers and my GA to do bomber and GA things. I can't do anything else here. I've killed all the air targets, right? There's no ground attackers here. No enemy ones, anyway. Hello! Stop hitting me, flak. There's that P-51K from the humans. Yes, so hit the old F2 there. Can I? Will I? Let's get this guy first. Maybe not. Coming at a funky angle. Keep in mind I can't just turn with these guys. 302 is a lot of things, but a turn fighter of any kind it is not. Heavy fighters, it feels a lot more comfortable going after, even though the guns aren't necessarily the best for taking out heavy fighters. The airframe itself is best at taking out heavy fighters. Speed and just enough maneuverability. There we go. Let's get our boost on. Bye, Felicia. I'm still pulling away from this guy. Let's go ahead and hit this guy really quick here. He should realize right about now that I'm gonna just keep on flying away. He's still chasing me though, so I need to be mindful of that. He's still chasing me. Goodness, alright. Just keep boosting away. I guess I'll have to turn back around. And I think he's got a heavy fighter on him, so... Yeah, so now we'll go ahead and turn back around. If our mosquito doesn't kill him, I will. Bye, Felicia. I'll let the heavy fighter get the bomber, I guess. We're still down on points simply because they got their mining facility so much earlier than we got ours. We will... I'm gonna go for this guy simply because he's not turning. Oh, say something, and now he's turning. P-47s and things of that nature at least are less turny multi-rolls, so they're a little bit easier for me to stick with. IL-1 is quite a turny multi-roll, so less less fun in that regard.
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. Support will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over.
Here we go. P51K. Get our boost on here. Try to go help our mining facility capture. Because it looks like they captured the center. P51K, come on, dude. Go somewhere else. You're completely ineffective right now. You guys might win the frickin' battle, but holy cow, he's not winning the engagement. I need to get this P47N as quickly as possible. And oh, come on. Nobody can kill this. I'm wondering if this P51K is still coming after me. Here we go. There's other stupid ground targets that have like no health left. Oh my god, there's so many that are team. I do not recommend shooting at the ground in this plane, but holy cow. How can they leave like that small of an amount of ground target? No wonder we're going to lose this battle. Our freaking ground attackers and bombers can't seem to... it's so annoying. Luckily, I can take out a mosquito, especially if he's turning away. There we go. Very, very bad ground attackers we've got here. I'm shooting the ground. We're going to lose this battle no matter what I do now, so... Oh, terrible game. Terrible, terrible game. Oh well. Terrible game. We didn't lose that battle because of anything we did. We lost that battle because simply not having aircraft that could actually flip sectors. So we were able to get 12 kills there, 7,400 air damage. Really, a lot of that was because we were going for ground attackers and bombers, which is not something I typically go for on this plane. Kind of nice to go in it just because to go after those targets, simply because I don't go after them very often. The guns aren't incredibly strong. They're strong enough to do damage, but typically, the P51D in that kind of situation should have been defending their bombers and ground attackers. And if they were, then I wouldn't have been able to just kind of pick apart bombers and ground attackers. There's no heavy fighters over there. Nothing was defending those bombers and ground attackers of the enemy. So I was able to just pick them apart. And I had the time to pick them apart. Typically, I'd be going after the heavy fighters and multi-role fighters. And against fighters and multi-role fighters, typically I'm just booming and zooming past them. You got such incredible speed with this plane that you really want to lean in on that. Yeah, so this guy got a... Oh, Cook, come on, he's in my clan. Got himself a Hero of the Sky badge, but if he wanted to get the win, he needed to move out of that sector. He got a million freaking defense kills, I'm sure of it. Yeah, 10 of his... At least 10. Yeah, 10 of his 15 kills were defense kills. So he did awesome. But you can see the difference in the aerial damage because I was going for bombers and ground attackers. I did double the air damage. He captured one sector, whereas we should have captured 3, I think. Yeah. And so that's the difference, is sometimes you're going to be in a fighter and you've got to play the attacking role. Just is what it is. It can be frustrating from time to time, but 302 is going to be really good at that kind of situation because you simply can get to that sector quickly. Once you can get to a sector and be a pain in the butt, you might not even necessarily kill the planes that are having a negative impact on your game, but you can at least distract them and pester them and make them less effective, if not completely ineffective, simply by being there. And the 302 can be there quicker than any other freaking plane at Tier 7, right? All right, so for that second battle, we got 15 kills, 5,600 damage to the air. We actually did ground damage, which I basically never recommend doing in this plane, or really any fighter, unless desperate times. And that was definitely desperate times. There's so many little sections of the sector at the mining facility there that, like a ground attacker didn't want to shoot. We should have had that mine like 3 minutes previous to that, and we just didn't. So it is what it is. Sometimes you just get those kinds of bots. Yeah. So the 302. It's a fighter though. So as fast as it is, as fun as it is, and it is completely fun, it can still be ineffectual just because it's a fighter and not something that can actually do ground damage from time to time. And not that I'm saying, multi-rolls are the top dogs. They're not. But heavy fighters tend to have a little bit more flexibility on taking out ground targets when you desperately need them to. Or if you're going to go in this plane and you desperately want to just, increase your win rate, flight up with somebody who's going to be in a bomber or a ground attacker, and then you've got both ends of the spectrum there. So keep that in mind with basically any fighter. You've only got so much ability to impact the game, and so just be mindful of that. You can certainly be a pain in the ass, as we were right there. In both the first and the second battle, we were just huge pains in the asses, right? So the 302 is a plane that, again, I don't know what my win percentage is on it, but it's just a fun plane. I really enjoy flying it. One of the first planes that I actually maximized my equipment on. So let's take a look at that. Well, let's take a look at the guns and everything first. You have 4 20mm cannons, pretty short range, kind of weak guns, to be honest. And, oh my goodness, am I an idiot? Okay, good. Well, I am, but that's got nothing to do with nothing. Kind of short range, so having such a fast plane with such short range guns means that the time frame that you have for these guns to be impactful is pretty small. So you need to be mindful of that. Very often I'm boosting really fast and then hitting the air brakes to stay behind a target for as long as possible and let my guns hit the target. I don't know if you noticed, but I was definitely tapping the cannons rather than letting them overheat. I was really feathering the trigger to allow them to continue to hit for longer and longer and longer. I would recommend literally any forward firing equipment slot would have been perfect for this plane, but there's no forward firing equipment item for the plane, and so you're just kind of stuck with the guns that you have. To help the accuracy, of course, I've gone ahead and put on here the collimator sight. You only get 2 options at Tier 7. That's cockpit armor, which is no, don't do it, and the sight. Take the sight. As far as the overall airframe is concerned, I did have a full speed build on this plane. I did not continue with that because just having a little bit of maneuverability really helps in situations. I had such a speed build that I was getting outmaneuvered by some heavy fighters, and it was just no. And so what I've gone ahead and done here is you want the polished skin. I've actually got a special project upgraded engine. I went with upgraded engine over I went with upgraded engine over the injection boost system simply because with the boost system, it takes away from your seconds of actual boost. Yeah, your actual boost is more effective, but only to a certain extent. What do I mean by that? And I probably should have mentioned this in the actual battle. You may have noticed, even with my non-boosted boost, I was maxing out at my airspeed cap pretty easily. Maximum speed is boost speed is 542. Even with that upgraded, you're only going to get it up to like 560 and some change, maybe 570. You're still going to max out there, and you're going to get to that max. And then it goes away, and then you're stuck without the boost, and all the impacts that the upgraded engine would have are going to be more effective for a longer time frame. So the upgraded engine gives you your acceleration without boost is improved, your overall cruise speed is improved, And I was able to roll the bonus characteristics on this plane to have the boost availability boosted and the engine cool down rate improved. And so both of those, both of those added on top of each other. My boost duration is 7 seconds instead of 6 seconds. My cruise speed is basically 25% increased, 23% increased. The overall acceleration, the boost, so all these different things are improved because I'm using uprated engine instead of the boost injection. Boost injection would move my boost duration down to 5, maybe even 4 seconds, and it would help in the time that you're boosting, but just keeping the overall airspeed higher is going to be more important with this particular plane. The polished skin and the lightweight wing frame, I think are really important setup in this kind of plane. I didn't find any, and I did experiment with this plane, I didn't find any benefit of using the reinforced skin or the reinforced airframe. Helping the overall hit points of the plane, yeah, sure, that can help, but making the maneuverability even worse and helping the hit points, all you're really doing is saying, okay, now I'm easier to be hit, but I can last longer. No, I'd rather be more difficult to hit, and then I don't need to worry about what my hit points are. The reinforced skin, yeah, I do get my wings and tail knocked out pretty often in this plane, to be honest. Let's be fair. But to increase their durability and lose speed would be detrimental. I'd rather have my tail knocked out and still be able to zoom along at 542 miles an hour. I'm going to get away. It doesn't matter that my tail and my wing are knocked out. I'm still going to say bye. If I put on reinforced skin and my wings and tail are still intact, but I'm losing airspeed, I might not have that ability to get away. This plane's bag of tricks is all in its speed. Your ability to attack, your ability to get out of bad situations, your ability to go high when you're trying to get away from planes that you've accidentally got yourself stuck into. Your ability to just do everything is going to be based on your airspeed. And so taking away more airspeed, even to help your durability, it's just not worth it in my opinion. I really like the combination on the airframe of the lightweight wing frame and the polished skin. It still is giving you more boost, but it does give you just a little pinch of maneuverability, and that definitely does help. I don't recommend going into a full maneuverability build by any means on this plane, but having a little bit of maneuverability helps you stick with some of those more turny multi-role fighters, or some of the more turny, like a Key 102, things of that nature that are so slow you're going to go flying past them a million miles an hour, and most of them can actually outturn you. Having just a little bit more maneuverability is definitely helpful in those situations. As far as my consumables are concerned, this is the first plane. You've heard that a couple times now. This is the first plane where I went with this setup, and it kind of opened my eyes to using this setup for some other speed build type planes. For consumables, I've got first aid package. This plane does catch on fire. The 302 catches on fire relatively often, but again, my mentality is avoid taking those hits. And so I tend to avoid, catching on fire in the first place. I could see somebody putting a fire extinguisher on this plane. I tend to use first aid package and deal with the repercussions if my plane catches on fire. But I tend to try to be really mindful of the map and just avoid taking the hits in the first place. Kind of all rolls into one with the way that I've got the plane set up. I do have pneumatic control assist on the plane simply to allow for me to, if I'm in a tight situation and I need to try to outmaneuver somebody for a second just to kill them, I can do that. If you're not going to use pneumatic control assist, emergency control system is the way to go. That'll put your wings and tail back in when they've been knocked out. And it can also, if you are worried about your wings and tail being knocked out, I'd rather use the consumable than use the equipment that we were mentioning up here, the reinforced skin. I would much rather use the emergency control system than reinforced skin. So again, if you're worried about your tail and wings, go with the emergency control system, and you won't be too disappointed there. Engine cooling is a must on this plane, an absolute must. Doesn't matter if you're specialized or not, engine cooling is the way to go. That extra 10 seconds of boost will get you out of so many issues. so many issues because you're just going to be so much faster than everything at Tier 7. Even a non-specialized version of this plane is going to be the fastest thing out there in a Tier 7 battle. Tier 8 battles are going to be different just because everything and their brother has jets. Well, not everything. Obviously, I'm looking at UF2G and Tempest. But having the ability to boost around is going to get you out of so much trouble and get you into so many different, get you into sectors that you might need to attack. So engine cooling is the way to go. I've gone ahead and put improved mixture control on here. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I understand the repercussions of me not having manual engine restart on my plane, and I'm okay with those repercussions, and I understand my own decision making. That being said, for most people, the manual engine restart is going to be the better option. The engines get knocked out from time to time, not consistently. But from time to time, and it can be very frustrating when your plane relies on its airspeed to not have the engines actually there to do the airspeed. And so, you're going to want to be mindful of that. Manual engine restart is going to be most people's best option. I've gone with the improved mixture control just to give myself 5% extra thrust and 2% extra cruise speed. Again, I'm okay with the repercussions of my choices. Universal ammo, because why not? Get a little bit of extra bonus damage going on there. And the great thing about a premium plane, and this is a premium Tier 7 plane, right, is you can put any pilot in here. I've currently got my LA-15, but you know what? If I want to put any other pilot in here, I would put something like my Yak 19 pilot or Yak 30 pilot, simply because they've also got firefighter skill on their plane. Excuse me. I do want something with some pilot that has aerodynamics expert on it. Aerodynamics expert gives a buff to any maneuverability and speed equipment. Right? Marksman 2 is not a necessity, but it certainly helps with the pilot. And I've actually got on my plane here, on my LA-15 pilot, I've also got aerobatics expert, so that's helping with the maneuverability just a little bit more, just to keep me moving along. I tend to use my LA-15 pilot on here. In fact, I should probably put, there we go. Don't know why I hadn't put something on here. Now I've got the firefighter skill, and that'll help put out the fires even quicker. So that makes me feel even more comfortable with using the first aid kit over the fire extinguisher. Anywho, this was a plane I actually won in a crate, so, yay for me. However, it's currently available if you want to spend cash on a plane. Again, it's not necessarily the best plane. It's not going to have the best win rates. It doesn't have super hard cannons. It can't completely own a sector, but it can get to where you want it to get very, very quickly, and it can be incredibly effective harasser, and it's a lot of fun. And you know me, I like having fun with the games I play, and this is a fun plane to play. If you've got any other questions, feel free to comment down below. If you own a 302, I'd love to hear your perspective on it. Is it a plane that you enjoy flying around? Is it a plane that you regret getting? And I'd love to hear that. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.